Happy full moon in Aries. We're under the energy right now. I love that for you guys. We are gonna go ahead and get right into the next sign. You know exactly who it is before I do. Let's see. What we got? The last reading really put me in a great frame of mind. OMG, how amazing is this? Leo gang. Leo, I really love you guys. You guys actually had my favorite Libra new moon message. Ironically, no Leos really enjoyed it, but y'all's message last time was like the most amazing. So I'm pretty excited for that. You know what? I kind of like the idea of starting with y'all's crystal resonance message first, just to kind of give you a very direct guidance. And yeah, so let's do that. But happy full moon in Aries, Leo. I know you guys are eating up this fire moon. It is such a beautiful time, such a positive energy, like pervading, absolutely. Because even with any level of fictitious energy, I mean, it all leads to the highest timeline. So I'm really excited at this time personally. And I just want to make sure to give you on this channel that level of excitement. Oh my fucking God, as I was talking about fire moon. Courage, Leo, courage. Oh, beautiful. Let's see. Oh, Leo, perfect. Bloodstone and the message. Bloodstone has appeared at this time to inspire with courage, you to recognize the direction in which your heart is leading you. This physical world is a school, a play that we are acting out with others around us. At any time, we can rewrite or change the script. This is how you create your own reality. Sometimes fear of censure, fear of loss, or fear of failure can keep you from following your dreams. Bloodstone has come to lend you courage so that you can hear the direction your heart calls from and take your first steps towards it. Bloodstone walks beside you as you set foot upon your path as a spiritual warrior. So the chakras that you're working with this moon are the root and the navel. And the affirmation is, I have the courage to act upon my inner guidance. So easy, so simple. The immediate download that I was feeling that with that Leo is, again, I loved Leo's last message under the Libra eclipse, and part of the reason I loved it was because, you know, I've been really connecting with Leo energy because, you know, when we talk about Leos finally integrating their shadow, I feel like that's a big part of it. Like Leo is finally coming back into a very holistic understanding of themselves, which is going to reinforce that courage, because I feel like Leo specifically, I will say in the last reading, and just in terms of an energy in general, have been getting a lot of guidance that does take courage for you to initiate, right? It's going to feel a lot like the things that the universe are asking of you right now are going to put you over, like the floor is lava. You know what I mean? And so I know that a lot of times with Leo, like we all look at you as the lion, so we just all look at you like you must not be scared of nothing. And I think Leo, you know, as times there's like, oh, sometimes the cat's tail is between its legs. Like sometimes it is freaky, but maybe I can give you some guidance under this Aries full moon. Again, having a fire moon, I think can really help Leo to kind of, again, finish off whatever tasks are on that to-do list that you know are there that would be for your highest good to initiate, but do actually just take facing, you know, your own darkness, your own fears, your own shadow side, because babes, the first opening energy is Leo is the King of Pentacles. Of course. Oh my God, of course. This is why I loved Leo's reading, the last reading that I did. So I did move my pillow here because I did like, oh, of course, Leo. I mean, this is exactly what I was experiencing for you guys. Like, I'm sorry, let me make sure that I don't get blind you guys with too much overhead light. But again, Leo, it's because you're King of Pentacles. Like at the end of the day, I think this is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Spirit is coming in under this moon with the resources you need and the power that you need, so that things that actually used to scare you won't scare you as much. Like I also feel like with Leos, they knew this. Like for example, if a Leo is in a relationship they know they need to get out of, right? I think Leo was waiting because I think they knew that the way that Spirit had their karma set up, they were about to come into some stuff that was going to help them get the boundaries. Like if you're dealing with people who are like way too codependent on you, or if they're, you know, there are things you are no longer aligning with, I think Leo was waiting for the physical world and their power, like their resources and their power, to help separate them a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, sorry, like I can now finally break this off because it's like your status now helps you to face some of those things. Like I think when Leo, like I think it's like there's a difference between, like, you know, there are times when you have to have courage and you don't have shit to your name, right? And that's a lot harder to feel courageous and bold and empowered and have high self-esteem when you feel like you don't have a lot. But this is Leo, like you can tell the universe wants you to make these changes and initiate these changes because literally they're bringing you in all of this resource, all of this power and self-esteem, so that you know, like, I don't have to be scared of this anymore. Like, I feel like, again, I just keep getting this deep sense of like, I wouldn't have done this before because I didn't have an alternative. Like, again, like, if you won't leave a relationship because you don't know if there's really better for you. And I feel like when Leo went through that integration of shadow process over the last 6 months, I think they were really able to realize, like, oh, of course there's better. So now you have the courage to do the thing because you've proven to yourself you can be self-sufficient. That's so huge. I mean, that's just the most beautiful energy. Like I said, Leo's reading, if you didn't go watch it, it was like my favorite. And so, you know, I get that the algorithm is really the only thing that's surfacing this shit, but like at the end of the you're good, Leo. This is so beautiful. I feel like Leo under this moon is fucking cutting it off. I think everything you needed to be revealed. I think, you know, the curiosity killed the cat. And I know Leo, like, nothing, like, you guys are very perceptive, and you know, you really, like, you're like, hey, something, you know, when something's not right and something's up. But I feel like you just needed your inner light to be shining bright enough to illuminate in the dark what is good and what is bad for you. Like, I think as long as your inner strength wasn't, like, again, I think there was just a big strengthening of Leo, because we're going to need you for sure in the age of the Aquarian. I mean, you are right across the ecliptic from Aquarius, right? So we really need your energy. You really represent that star, that main childlike energy. And it's so important for Leo to be empowered. It's so important for the children, the fifth house, to be empowered and be healthy and to not be dealing with systems, like things of abuse. But I just have a feeling like all this was about for you was like, once you gained that strength in your inner light, like once you know you were strong enough, again, once you, like, because again, this is like, you know, North Face sponsoring a video about someone climbing the summit of a mountain, right? Like, you have to train and train and train, and it's like, there'd be no problem summiting a mountain, right? But you just need to know, it's like training for a marathon. Like, I'll do the half marathon, you know what I mean? I'll do the full marathon, but I do need to know that I actually can do it. So it was like, Leo didn't want to be pushed, because you guys are fixed energy. So you don't really want anybody to initiate anything prematurely for you. You don't want to be pushed into something, because Leo's on it. Like, Leo's like, I know what I need to do. I'm connecting with so many of you lives. Like, I know what I need to do. I know you knew who you needed to cut off. You knew what was toxic. You knew what was old. You knew what was collapsing. I think it was just about making sure that you were strong enough. Like, Leo was just focusing on building themselves up so that they had enough courage and self-esteem to be able to enact the things that they know need to be, again, snipped in the butt. Because I feel like Leo is coming fast and quick. Like, it's coming in, like, I'm happy to set whatever boundaries with whoever I need to. I just, let me focus on me real quick and get the things that I need up, so that way, because it's like, for Leos, your spiritual team is literally yourself. For Leos, like, when you're the king of the jungle, like, it's like, for you, your reinforcement is your own energy, like your own ability to fight back. And so you just got to make sure that your stamina, like your health, is there in terms of like your spirit to be able to enact these things. In case shit pops off, you need to be able to know, like, again, he has a shield. He is prepared, like, he's prepared to protect himself and you know, battle back, right? So it takes courage. But unlike other zodiac signs, it's not like a spirit team that, like, the thing that you're relying on, your backup, like when Leo calls for backup, it's Leo. So again, I just feel that way. I just feel like you knew it was never that Leo wanted to stay in toxic dynamics or wanted to be doing things for too long. You just knew, let me get some of these personal goals and some of this personal strength and stamina built up first, because then the way that I feel like this Knight of Swords swiftness under this full moon is coming, it's like you quickly do it. It's like, especially when like your whole picture is like, when you and your people and the people you rely on are good and solid and sturdy, you come in a unified front, and you have no problem standing in your darkness. You have no problem shining your light alone. Like, this was never an issue for you, Leo, of whether or not you could have done the thing, whether or not you could have done the healthy choice for yourself, whether you could have made the healthy option, right? It was never that. It was just making sure that you're in the position so that, like, when you have to use courage, that the battle doesn't affect you so much that you don't recover. Ooh, that is such a beautiful, straight to the point message. Leo, it's, you already knew. You are building, you already understand that you're going to be going forward and creating your new world. Again, I just feel like Leo wants to make sure that, like, this new start for them is, their cups are full. They wanted to make sure that they had enough to supply for not just themselves, but for others, for their community. And I think while you were doing that's the, like, again, you got, if you thought you were playing Leo for a fool, like, if people thought that the toxic influences in your life thought that they were running, they weren't. It wasn't that you, because I think a lot of people think that the way that they've got you mixed into the, like, misalignment shows that you're confused, but it's not that you were confused. It's that like it takes courage to make a change. We all know that. And Leo, unlike the rest of us, won't have anybody to come save them. You are who we call, like, Leo's the Superman, right? So we call Leo when we need enforcement. So who helps the person who always helps everybody else out of their pickles? Who's helping Leo out of their pickles? It's still going to be Leo. So again, I have this feeling of like no one would understand what Leo goes through because you're your own backup. You're your own security guard. And so for you, you just knew how much people rely on you because this Nine of Cups just gives like a lot of people depend on your vitality. They depend on you to show up in the way in a strong and empowered way. And so does that leave a lot of time for Leo to be going through karmic cycles? Not really. Does it leave a lot of time for Leo to be like sitting on something or letting something drain them emotionally? Not really. So what happens when Leo has a bad day, right? So I think this whole experience for Leo, especially with this eclipse portal and what's being taken out, is like finally Leo's like, okay, I got the shit I need. I got my fucking kingdom ready. I got my empire ready. I got my people in places. I know who I really do trust. And whoever those stragglers are, you already isolated them because I feel like your spiritual truth is about to take them out. Like, this is like someone who's like, let me get my swordsmanship up because I want to make sure. Because I feel like Leo's like, when I cut this shit off, when I cut this toxicity off and whatever's dark that doesn't match the high vibrational life I want to live, when I cut it off, I want to cut it off one good time. I want to cut it off one good time and I want to move the fuck on. And I feel like that's what Leo's about to do. I think Leo's about to surprise the world with that. Wow. Oh my God, Leo. This was always you knew justice was on your side. You knew justice was on your side. But instead of wasting energy, like, because this fight could have worn you out. First of all, it takes courage to go up to battle this. But instead, you went a different route. You said, let me just get completely apt. Let me be the strongest person. Like, I have to be the strongest person in the situation. Because I think you know the calamity and the chaos of this moon, of this cardinal grand cross. I think you knew what that would entail. I think you know that the people you're up against, the demons that might have been attached to your situation, the darkness, the negativity that might have been attached to your situation, I think you knew how draining it could have been for you. So it's important to be strategic about how you're going to eliminate certain things from your life. And again, now they're giving me like Leo's the type to get like stalker energy. Like, okay, you got to be careful with how you deal with these stalkers because you want to make sure that they, like, when you put that restraining order out, like, that it's for real. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to divorce court, like, you want to make sure that like yourself is protected before you just put your assets on the line, because there is a lot to lose. And there, in terms of like your stamina, in terms of like your health and well-being, it just felt like there was a lot to lose. And so you wanted to make sure before you serve somebody the divorce papers, you just want to make sure you get all your shit out and you know where you're going. That's what I'm really getting for Leo, right? Because what's crowning you is Ace of Pentacles. Of course. For all of the imprisonment, there is an incentive. Like, I feel like Leo knows that like this energy that has been trapping you, has been making you feel like not like Leo, it's directly connected to your Ace of Pentacles. Like, it affects your money earning ability. It affects your ability to feel like you can keep moving forward, which is hard. You know, Leo, I really hold a lot of empathy because like when we find ourselves in a situation that is karmic or that is just a part of past patterning, or when we make relationships with people, when we take jobs that are obviously a part of some sort of karmic pattern that we've been going on, it's hard to know that our security is also directly related to this thing that is also imprisoning us. So that's, like I said, I just get for a lot of Leos, it's kind of that energy is like, before I fucking divorce this man and let him know I want a divorce, I want to make sure I got a place for me and my kids to go, right? It's like that kind of energy. So beautiful. Before I break up with this relationship, I just want to make sure that I'm good and I have someone I know I can call. Because Leo, the spirit, it's just so beautiful for you. Because I think you've realized, like I said, when you built that nest egg so that you have something to fall back on, like I said, if a married couple has been together 40 fucking years is splitting up, you just want to make sure that you know what, like, you've been preparing silently. This is like, I made a separate bank account secretly for myself that they don't know about, so that way I have my own little sector of money that I've been pouring into, so that way when they take inevitably half my shit, I'm still good. I still got aces of cups coming to me. That's what Leo did. This is like working very smart, because it looks like there could have been a lot of threat, there could have been a lot jeopardized for you, and I think you were under this moon, you're fighting a battle that is very hard to fight, but you're successful because of how you planned about it, because you prepared for worst case scenario. You knew that these bitches are crazy. You knew these bitches want to take Leo out. You know that when an enemy forms against you, Leo, they want to eclipse the light. They want to take out the sun. And we cannot have that. We cannot have that on any level. Anybody trying to take away the sun, the thing that gives life to this planet, no. We can't have somebody actually attack that. So when people attack Leo, we really got to call in the troops. You get what I'm saying? We really have to call in the troops to make sure that Leo is going to be A-okay. Leo, oh my God. And let me also just bring it right back up. If you are dealing with, like I said, having to cut off something that was originally connected to you because it's been draining you, like it's actually been harming you and affecting your abundance, it's because, say you, again, I just keep being told to tell this, say you've been like in a relationship with someone that now you realize under this eclipse, like you've been, and now this full moon, you've been aware that like you've been building up the strength to like walk away from. It's actually because you have a fated and destined soulmate. Like if you have to leave a toxic work environment, it's actually because you have a sacred work that you're supposed to be doing. So again, when we talk about like, you can't really have placeholders. You can't be someone that is supposed to have a soulmate and is out here just dating whoever, right? Because you're sad because you don't want to be alone, right? Like that can't really happen for Leos, because your shit is meant to be, there is something that is actually meant to be for you. It's not, you don't have to just fill the place, right? Like I said, if you live in a city just because like that's where your parents lived and it doesn't resonate with you, but you just keep trying to build your life there, well, the reason that you're auditing it and letting it go and finally moving now, right, would be because there is a place that you're actually supposed to go to, and that thing was in its place. Like we can't have these placeholders for Leo anymore. You get what I'm saying? If it's a friend group, right? Like if you lose a best friend because it's like, this person is toxic, I've realized that, oh my God, right? It's because there is something that's not supposed, that was in the way of. So there is also this alternative to excommunicating that out of your situation and getting that out of your sphere in your orbit. It's because there's other beautiful things that you're meant to be picking that are consecrated by the divine. Beautiful, Leo. Like I said, you guys had my favorite reading of all. Let me grab this damn card. Oh my God, look at me. Not my hat fell off. That's probably for the best. Okay. Yep, exactly. Outside of you, Leo. 5 of Cups in reverse, right? Which means you are like you realize, like, especially Leo, like I think you got really good at, like, you wanted to isolate the problem. It took courage to make sure that you could say, okay, I know what the problem is. I know what needs to go. I know what doesn't belong in Leo's frame of mind anymore. I know it doesn't belong in my picture. I know that one of these is not like the other. The cat has figured it out. It's like, yep, that's the thing that doesn't belong. And it's because you're meant to have a 2 of Cups. Like, I don't even think this is a sad thing, because I think Spirit supported you. Like, a lot of people don't get this type of divine love, Leo. Like, a lot of us bitches get told the hard way. Like, the divine's like, most people, it's like, I'm not bringing in your new start until you fucking cut this shit off. But Leo, obviously the divine's favorite, is over here like, here, Leo, here's some, like Leo's like the only sign that's getting incentivized. Like, here, Leo, we'll give you a mansion if you just let go of this bad partner. Leo, we'll give you this new job. Like, Leo is the person, you know, when they always say, like, don't quit a job until you have another one. Well, that's like never the case. Like, it's like so hard for so many signs in the zodiac to like get a new job before they quit the shitty one. Leo's like definitely the Leo that's like, oh my God, I just got a crazy promotion I can't turn down. And that's how the divine incentivizes Leo to get out of shitty situations, right? So that's exactly what's happening here, Leo. It's like, yeah, like I have to build the courage up to do something that, you know, otherwise could be pretty intense, but it's all right because I have this super awesome 2 of Cups. So it doesn't even really matter. Like, that's Leo right now. Like, you're already incentivized because you're already in your Page of Wands. It's like a lot easier to let something go. Again, most of us get freaked out and don't have courage because we can't see the unknown. Like, nothing is filling its place. Like, a lot of times the universe is like, nah, you have to let that go before we can show you and reveal to you what's coming in its place. Leo got revealed what's coming in its place, and that's why it was easy for you to let it go. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, because this was what Leo, you mastered it. Your biggest fear was trying to build forever with deception. That was it, right? Because everybody knows Leo wants to be committed. It wants to know, you know, Leo's just so obvious. Like, you can't hide. Like, Leo placements, like, it is what it is. You're just like walking sunshine. And I think so many people who have nefarious intentions can take advantage of that because they don't have there's nothing but clouds in their sky, you know? So when it comes to you, Leo, like, a lot of energies really want a piece of that, you know? They want a piece of that pie. They want a piece of that brightness without really giving anything to you. And I think, like, you know, the biggest fear is that kind of naivete that comes with the fifth house, that comes with being Leo, that comes with just moving from your heart. You know, Leo can't close its heart. Like, it's not possible for you to have a clogged heart chakra. So you're always going to be used. You're always going to be needed because you're always open-hearted, you know? People can always come to you. Like, your Leos are the people that, like, do not fucking judge. Like, they don't judge at all. And that's because their heart is always open. They just have the most empathy out of anyone else in the zodiac. And I think, you know, you were keeping your heart open, and you can't really close it because you're not, because Leo's also not going to compromise themselves. Like, one thing about Leo's, like, I'm not going to change who I am for other people. So even if that means, like, people keep using you, you would never close your heart just because of a person. So it's hard for Leos because a lot of times you can find yourself in cycle after cycle where it's like, I keep attracting the same, like, relational dynamic within others, where it's like, they know I'm not going to close my heart, so they take advantage of that, you know? And I feel like you faced that fear during this last 2 weeks. Like, you faced the fear that, like, you're right, I'm not going to close my heart, and you're right, I'm not, but all Leo did is, like, I'm just going to build my fucking mountain, and then I'm going to cut you off cold and swift. No mercy. Like, that's how Leo's going to do you, you know? Like, I'm going to drop you like a hot potato. Yeah, and then I'm going to let you know I'm fucking successful without you. Like, that's how Leo did this. But again, it's just so beautiful because, oh my God, Leo. 3 aces on the fucking board. Leo, no other sign has had the cards look like yours do. No other sign has the cards look like yours do. Leo, there is so much new beginning. This is not, like, I can just definitely say for Leo, this is not the type of ending that you need to initiate that is meant to stop you at all. This is like the relationship you cut off and it's like, phew, you know how those women, like, throw, like, divorce parties, like, yay guys, like, today, like they buy themselves cakes and, like, happily never after, like, fuck that man, like, you know, it's like that kind of vibe. Like, it's like the type of thing that, like, this ending is like nothing but pure celebration because it only fuels all these new beginnings. I mean, you've got a new beginning in terms of pentacles, you've got a new emotional beginning coming in, you've got a new creative ability coming in. Like, you're getting your whole Leo fucking cake and eating it too, and you're also coming into union with yourself. Like, I also see Leos getting, like, just the home of their dreams, like, within themselves. Like, they just built it already. And I feel like the only thing that was muddying up this Four of Wands picture for you, that took that courage to eliminate from the picture, was the things that were never worthy of you, you know? But again, you were never going to close off your heart. And because you have the unique assignment of being Leo, being the sun incarnate, the universe always shows you your new beginning before you have to end something to give you support. Because the universe does not want Leo changing. We could never, like, you imagine if your physical heart was like, I'm going to stop sending out blood. Like, if we actually, like, we can't, right? We can't have the heart stop no matter what. No matter what sickness the body takes. Like, if your heart stops, well, everything stops. And so I feel like with Leo, you represent that exactly in the zodiacal wheel. You represent, like, you can't stop being you. Like, even when there are karmic cycles, like, Leos get this kind of pass through it because it's not going to be the same karmic cycle that other people go through. Like, for a lot of us, like, we don't get new beginnings until we fucking figure out what was wrong with the old stanky one. And we have to give it up. But Leos always get that encouragement because they have that unique feeling of, like, always having their heart be manipulated. You know what I mean? A lot of us just close off our heart. We don't even want people touching it. There's so much shit on my heart. Don't come over here. But Leo is so open-hearted and so understanding and just represents that unconditional love that the universe does not want you to change who you are at all in terms of, like, how you approach caring for the world around you. And I mean, I'm so excited for you because I just feel like this full moon, you're finally ready to initiate a cutoff. You're finally ready to initiate a change that will eliminate things that keep you from focusing on anything other than all of this. Seriously, Leo. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I mean, this is just like the enlightening beauty that I feel like, you know, it reminds me that, you know, sometimes the universe does come in to help you make the tough calls that you have to make, you know, because I think I can see that Leo doesn't want to ever find out that something was hurting it. You know, Leo doesn't ever want to believe that that's the case. But if it is, I just see you moving with such grace, humility, strength, and poise, and is like, you know what, like, look at all the things that I have for myself. You obviously came and attacked me because of how open-hearted I am. So there's not really anything it's not a me problem. It's a them problem. And I think that the universe has already showed you that. And also, in letting go of this, you make room for actual soulmate contracts and partnership. And it's like, so it just seems like a win-win. Like, you learned what you needed to learn because in the end, all it wanted you to do was get yourself to what we opened with, which is the King of Pentacles. I mean, who else is the King of Pentacles right now? Who is under this moon as the King of Pentacles? Not too many other energies, Leo. So to me, it's like, it's just so phenomenal that like you have this level of maturity and understanding and shadow integration that has allowed you to realize that like justice was on my side. I chose, like I said, I feel like Leo wants to be amicable. Leo is like, look, I caught you, I found you out, I know what you've been doing, and I don't want anything from you because I don't need any more of your karma. I know you will be dealt with separately, but obviously it just means you're not aligned to me. So I just see this is like a very mature, poised way for Leo to like initiate endings, because you are fucking goated. You're I mean, you have every fucking thing coming towards you that you could have possibly wanted. So I'm really proud of Leos. I think they're setting a phenomenal example, that all of us can move like much more open-hearted. Like I think this story to Leo, like your community is going to reference your story and what you did and how you went about this particular phase of your life and initiating this particular phase. They're gonna cite you as inspiration for how like we don't have to close our hearts. Like a lot of people believe like, no, if someone fucks me over, I'm gonna fuck them over back. And I just don't think Leo has any desire for that. I think Leo just really wants what's for itself, and it wants to continue to just move and stay true to itself. You know what I mean? I don't think you want to change who you are for anyone. And I think this partnership, these old, like again, this negativity, this negative reinforcement that was around your life that was like making this feel like less than what it is, was just about trying to get you to be something that you weren't. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the whole reason it has to go, is because it's not about you changing yourself for anyone. And when Leo realizes like God doesn't want me to change who I am for anyone. In fact, there's stuff waiting on me, the real version of me. And then I've been so busy trying to change it for whatever the hell this is, that I'm missing it. I'm missing the point. And so you finally come into union with yourself. And I think you're going to have a beautiful home of just things that are truly for you. And I feel such an endearing energy, but it is a very inspiring story. And I feel like Leo is playing out its life purpose as being the inspiration that it's meant to be. And, but finally coming to that personal success that I think you knew you wanted all this to be offered to you, is the reason why, Leo, like it gets offered to you, you're living in the reality you have now, and you can finally separate yourself from stuff that has just been trying to drag you down for far, far too long. So way to stay true, way to stay you. Happy Aries full moon. I really think Leo needed this fire moon to just finally like set ablaze like every big dream you have. So congratulations to you. Happy full moon.